friends. We're reading Gooseberry Park by Cynthia Rylant, and we're on page 31, Time. Chapter 5 is called Time. Kona, Gwendolyn whispered into the darkness. It's begun. The dog lifted his large brown head from his bed in the corner of the living room. Listen, said Gwendolyn. Kona held himself quite still and listened. There was the ticking of the Swiss clock on the mantel, the hush of warm air from the gas fireplace, the subtle buzz of the plant light above Professor Albert's violets, and something else. Can you feel it in the air, Kona? Gwendolyn shifted her shell around to look at him directly. Kona waited as he did, and a most powerful feeling came over him. Is it Stumpy? He whispered. Is it time? The old crab stretched her antenna as high as they could reach. She searched the air. Can you see her stretching her antenna as far as they can reach? I believe it is time, she said with conviction. Oh, Kona jumped up. Oh! He went to the picture window and looked out towards the tops of the trees in Gooseberry Park. I wish I could be there, he said. He rested his front paws on the windowsill. Kona dear, said Gwendolyn, you are a most remarkable dog, but I am sorry to say, not so remarkable as to climb a tree and assist a squirrel having babies. Oh, I wish I were, Kona said with a sigh. I wish I were that remarkable. She'll be fine, dear, Gwendolyn said reassuringly, fully believing this herself. She's a plucky one. Kona stared out towards the park a while longer, and then he began to pace. He went from the living room to the dining room. He turned right at the sideboard to the study, circled the study, and then paced back to the living room exactly the way he'd come. He longed for a good bone to chew, but he'd left his best bone in the backyard. He plopped down on the floor and began chewing on the leg of the coffee table. Kona! Yelled Gwendolyn. What? The dog jumped so fast that he banged his nose on the table. Thanks, Gwendolyn. I forgot where I was. I don't think there's much damage. The old crab shook her head. Kona, my dear, there are some things in this life we must experience alone. Even having babies? Asked Kona. Even having babies, answered Gwendolyn. Why, when I had my children... Gwendolyn, you have children? Kona's eyes were wide with surprise. The crab smiled. Dear, I had quite a full life in the tropics before I was carried off to be sold in a pet shop. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. I'm very devoted to Professor Albert. Children? Asked Kona. Oh, at least 50, answered Gwendolyn. All grown up now, and let me tell you, my friend, giving birth is something very private and rather sacred. It was for me as private as a prayer. Oh, said Kona with a solemn look on his face. Together the two gazed out the window in silence at the trees, the stars, the clear bright moon in the sky. Each was full of thoughts about the earth and its heavens, about mothers and their children, and about the profound comfort of shelter and sustenance and the familiarity of home. And both sent forth their best, their strongest, their most sustaining thoughts to a little red squirrel who, at the very moment, was happily nursing 2 baby boys and 1 baby girl. Did you catch that? They're sending out their good thoughts to a squirrel who at this very moment was happily nursing 2 baby boys and 1 baby girl. So how many babies did she have? In the good green fragrance of a pin oak tree. And there she is. Can you see Stumpy? We'll read chapter 6 tomorrow, and that's called Children.